Hello. Okay, so today we have a few things to do on our calendar that changes everything up. So I thought we'd start out with our flag and then we get to calendar because we've got some things to move around. So if you'll stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, we'll do that first. So stand up, hand on your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's move over to the calendar because it's Friday today, but it's a whole new month, so we've got to switch out. It's not April anymore. So we have April up here, if you can see that. But we don't need any of these days, and we don't need April because today is the first day of a new month. So first we're going to take all of these out, and I wanted your help to do something very, very tricky, if you can handle it. We're going to count backwards today, starting with this number. If you remember what that one is, it's 30, 3 and 0. So 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, so tricky, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Okay, get ready because we can do this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, what's the last one? 1. Sometimes we say blast off. So good job. That was so tricky. All the way from 30 to 1. That's really hard. Okay, so today is the first day of a new month, and it's not April anymore. So here's April that starts with an A. We're going to see what comes next. So January, February, March, April, May. So let's listen to May. Does anybody know what letter the month of May might start with? May starts with a M. If you said M, pat yourself on the back. You did it. M for May. Everybody pat yourselves on the back because we all work together. Great. So May. Today is May 1st. So number 1, and it is Friday, which starts with a Friday. So today is Friday, May 1st, 2020. So our whole calendar is blank except for one thing. I don't know if you noticed it. Memorial Day comes on May 25th. We'll talk about that when that gets closer. But I went ahead and put our card in there. So that's the holiday we have. So very good. We also have some friends that have some birthdays coming up. Cameron, happy birthday, and Wyatt, happy birthday. They have some big birthdays coming up, which is so exciting. And Cameron and Wyatt will be turning this many, 5 years old. So I thought that it would be kind of fun today to share a couple of things. I wanted to show you a picture of me when I was 5 years old. So I have this book and it has a picture of me in it. So that's Miss Katie. That's me when I was 5 years old. Do you think I look the same? Yep. Thank you, 80s. So good. Okay, so that's Miss Katie when I was 5. And I also had a favorite book when I was 5 years old. And I know it's my favorite because for some reason I wrote my name in it. And I counted the other day, I wrote my name in it over 128 times. Why did I do that? I don't know. So, it was my favorite book when I was 5 years old, and I'm not sure why, but I thought I would read it to you today since that's what I liked. So, this book is called Perfect Percy. And Percy is a bug, I think a grasshopper maybe. And it is written by Bonnie Pryor and illustrated by Jerry Smath. Perfect Percy. By the way, don't write your names in books. My mom was not very happy about that. So don't do that. Perfect Percy. Let's see what Percy's up to in this book. Percy was a perfect grasshopper. Every morning he got up at exactly 8 o'clock without even using an alarm clock. He scrubbed his antennae until they sparkled. Then he folded his towel perfectly straight and made his bed without leaving a wrinkle. Percy never complained about going to school. He loved it so much he even went in the summer. He always made straight A's and he was student of the month 10 times in a row. Why can't you be like Percy? The teachers always asked the other students. Percy smiled modestly. He never bragged. Now all of this would make some parents very happy, but not Percy's mom and dad. Relax, Percy, his father said. He was practicing with his rock and roll band in the living room. Come and have some fun, called his mother. She was doing some high jumps over the couch. She jumped clear to the ceiling. But she landed on the coffee table and broke Percy's favorite trophy. It was the one for perfect penmanship. That means perfect writing. Oh dear, said his mother. I was practicing for the ladies' second annual high jump. I'm terribly sorry. That's all right, sighed Percy. I'm going to my room to study. Don't work too hard, his mother yelled as she jumped over the kitchen table. Does your mom ever jump over the kitchen table? Mine didn't. The next day, when Percy got home from school, he found his father in the kitchen standing on his head. His mother was practicing cheers for the Mayville football team. I can't stand it another minute, Percy shouted, and he stomped outside and sat on a rock in his front yard. Just then Dudley Beetle came by on his way to his piano lesson. My parents are always careless and noisy, Percy told him. At my house, everyone is perfect, Dudley said smugly. I wish I could live at your house, sighed Percy. I'm sure my parents won't mind when I tell them how perfect you are, said Dudley. If your parents say it's all right, you may come at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So he's just going to leave his house and go live with somebody else. That's crazy. The next day at 4 on the dot, Percy was at the Beetles' front door. All 7 Beetle children were doing their homework. It was very quiet. Percy could even hear the tick-tock of the clock. This is wonderful, Percy said. Shh, said the 7 Beetle children. So now there's 7 Beetles, and Percy's going to join them. 7 plus 1, 8 kids. Okay, Mrs. Beetle served dinner at precisely 6 o'clock. There were carrots and cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and spinach. Vegetables every day. Keep the doctor away, said Mrs. Beetle. Percy would have enjoyed his dinner if he hadn't been able to smell the sloppy joes his mother was cooking next door. Mrs. Grasshopper made the best sloppy joes in the neighborhood. So you can see they're having vegetables, and he's missing his mom's sloppy joes. Already missing them. After dinner, the Beetle family went jogging. A family that exercises together stays healthy, said Mrs. Beetle. Wear your sweaters, said Mr. Beetle, and don't forget boots and umbrellas. But the sun is shining, said Percy. Perfect people are always prepared, said Mr. Beetle. You never know when it might rain. By the time Percy got back to the Beetle's house, his feet were hot and itchy, and his arm ached from carrying the umbrella. He couldn't help noticing his parents doing cartwheels in the front yard. Percy wanted to take a bath, but when it was his turn, he couldn't find his bubble bath. When he finally found it, someone else was in the tub. Percy went to bed, but he didn't feel sleepy. He missed his mother's bedtime story. So he's already missing his mom and the things that she used to do for him, right? For breakfast the next morning, Mrs. Beetle made oatmeal. It was perfect, without any lumps. But Percy wasn't hungry. Percy helped wash the dishes. With all 7 Beetle children working, the kitchen was soon shiny and neat. Busy hands are happy hands, said Mr. Beetle. Percy, said Mrs. Beetle, Dudley was right. You are perfect, just like us. You may stay here forever. Those were just the words Percy had been waiting to hear, but for some reason, he didn't feel happy. Does anybody know why he might be happy? Forever's a long time. Percy went out in the yard to think. Oh me, oh my, cried a baby stink bug sitting on a rock by the house. Very politely, Percy covered his nose. What is the matter? He asked the baby. I was chased by a big ugly toad, sobbed the stink bug. Now I'm lost and I don't know what to do. Percy ran into the house to tell Mr. and Mrs. Beetle. A stink bug, said Mrs. Beetle. How awful. It's a lot of work to be perfect, said Mr. Beetle with a sniff. We don't have time to worry about creatures like that. Percy could still hear the baby stink bug crying, but he knew just what to do. His mother and father would never be too busy to take care of a lost baby, even if it was a stink bug. Mr. Grasshopper played his loudest rock and roll number. It was so loud, all of the ladies on the high jump team came running to the house to see what was the matter. This poor baby is lost, said Percy. The ladies jumped in every direction looking for the stink bug family. So he took the baby to his house, and his dad said, of course I'll help, and played his music so loud everybody came running. And then Mrs. Grasshopper found the stink bug's home herself. She carried the baby home in only 5 super jumps. Oh, Henry, cried Mama Stinkbug, I've been looking everywhere for you. Back at Percy's house, the ladies were practicing high jumps in the hall. In the front room, Mr. Grasshopper was singing a rock and roll song. Suddenly, Percy knew why he hadn't really been happy at the Beetle's house. He had forgotten about the most perfect thing of all. He had forgotten about love. He gave his mother and father a great big hug. Do you know what I like about my home? Shouted Percy. It is perfect. Absolutely perfect. And that's the end. And of course, there's my name. So Percy thought that he wasn't happy at his house because everything was so crazy and he wanted it to be just the right way. So he thought he would go to the neighbor's house where everything is just the right way and perfect. But he wasn't happy there because he liked his home and the way that his mommy and daddy did things better than the Beatles, right? So good. So that was Miss Katie's favorite book when I was 5 years old, just like some of you guys. Okay, so I thought we'd sing a song that takes some clapping and some stomping and some shouting. So let's see if we can do If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands. Ready? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Ready? If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! We're going to do all 3. You ready? If you're happy and you know it, do all 3. Stomp, stomp, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all 3. Clap, stomp, stomp, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, do all 3. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp, hooray! Okay, great job. Well, I hope you're having a fabulous Friday, and I hope Cameron and Wyatt are having great birthdays, and I just wanted to sing happy birthday to them, so we're going to sing 2 times if you're ready. So, happy birthday to you, Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cameron. Happy birthday to you. And then Wyatt's birthday is tomorrow, so let's do that one. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Wyatt. Happy birthday to you. All right, friends. I'll see you later.